Weekend secretary, Lucy accepts the job with Milton Berle. In the luminous constellation of mid-1960s, American television comedy, few figures shone with the particular combination of vulnerability, resourcefulness, and pure kinetic energy that Lucille Ball brought to the role of Lucy Carmichael on The Lucy Show. The episode under consideration opens not with a grand set piece or an elaborate visual gag but with something far more characteristic of the series' enduring charm. A simple conversation between two working women, about the eternal struggle to make ends meet. The dialogue begins in a cascade of half-formed exclamations and reassurances, no, oh alright, I'm fine, I'm fine. Hold your horses, that immediately establish the physical and emotional texture of Lucy's world. These are not polished theatrical lines, they are the spontaneous verbal tics of a woman perpetually on the edge of mild disaster. A woman whose very existence seems to invite both chaos and comedy in equal measure. When the visitor finally settles into coherent speech and announces, "Hey, I've got the most wonderful news for you, Lucy," the audience is already leaning forward, sensing the familiar machinery of a Lucy scheme about to be set in motion. Lucy's reply is pure Carmichael good, "I can use some." The understatement is delicious. She does not merely need good news, she requires it as a form of economic oxygen. The subsequent exchange lays bare the precariousness of her financial situation with the kind of gently satirical precision that defined the best of The Lucy Show. "Are you still looking for a chance to make extra money?" the friend inquires. And Lucy answers with the weary candor of a woman who has balanced too many unpaid bills against too few paychecks. "Well, I sure am. If I don't make a payment on my television set this month, I'll be back to eating my TV dinners in front of my radio." The image is both funny and quietly poignant. In an era when the television set had become the glowing hearth of the American living room, the threat of losing it carried a symbolic weight that modern viewers may need a moment to recover. Lucy's television is not merely an appliance, it is her connection to the larger world of glamour and distraction that she both mocks and secretly yearns for. The prospect of returning to radio dinners is framed as a kind of cultural demotion, a slide backward into a less luminous decade. Lucille Ball delivers the line with that signature mixture of comic exaggeration and genuine worry that made her characters so lovable. One can almost see the slight tightening of the lips, the quick dart of the eyes, the tiny shrug that says she has survived worse, and will survive this too, provided she can find the extra money. The solution arrives with the cheerful efficiency of a classic sitcom setup. "Your problems are over. Oh, one of the producers at our studio is looking for a secretary to work at his house over the weekend." The phrase "over the weekend" is crucial. This is not a permanent position with benefits and a steady salary. It is a temporary, slightly irregular arrangement, the kind of informal employment that working women of the period often accepted without question. Lucy's immediate enthusiasm that sounds wonderful is tempered by the inevitable question of identity. "Guess who the producer is? Who? Milton Berle." The name is spoken and the air in the room changes. Milton Berle, still referred to in the script with the affectionate misspelling Berle that somehow captures both familiarity and a touch of affectionate irreverence, was in 1965 a figure of genuine cultural weight. The man who had once been Mr. Television, the comedian whose Tuesday night program had emptied streets and filled living rooms across the nation, was now attempting a transition into the more respectable realm of motion picture producing. Lucy's reaction is pure fandom filtered through the practical concerns of a woman who needs the work. Milton Berle, the comedian. It's Milton Berle, the producer. Now he's producing a motion picture. Oh, he doesn't have his television show anymore, does he? No. Oh, the poor soul, I guess he needed a steady job. Well, I'll help him all I can. Oh, he's a wonderful man. There is a world of mid-century attitude packed into those few sentences. The gentle condescension of the poor soul is not cruel, it is the protective affection of a fan who has watched a beloved entertainer navigate the shifting currents of show business fortune. Berle's television dominance had begun to wane by the early 1960s, and the idea that he might need a steady job is both comic and oddly touching. Lucy's readiness to help him all I can is characteristic. She does not merely accept employment, she adopts the emotional stance of a rescuer. In her mind, she is not simply a weekend secretary, She is a temporary guardian of a national treasure. The moment is pure Lucy Carmichael, the impulse to insert herself into the narrative of someone else's life. The conviction that her presence will somehow improve the situation, and the complete blindness to the possibility that her presence might instead complicate it beyond recognition. The scene then shifts with the fluid economy typical of the series to the Berle household. We meet Ruth, referred to in the script both as Rose and as Mrs. Berle, whose first words establish her as the grounded, affectionate counterweight to her husband's restless ambition. Rose. Rose. Yes, dear, did that secretary get here yet? No, not yet, honey, while you're waiting for her to come? Yeah, I wish you'd eat some breakfast, honey, I'm too busy. I'm working on the budget for the picture. Well, you shouldn't be too busy to eat. Huh. You've been working night and day. What are you trying to prove? The dialogue is domestic, almost mundane, yet it carries the weight of a long marriage. Ruth's concern is practical and loving. Berle's response is the slightly defensive manifesto of a man who feels the need to reinvent himself. Oh, I happen to love show business. And I want to make good, yeah. Are you kidding? You've had a very successful career. What as a comedian? Well, Ruth, when a man matures, he wants the kind of success that brings respect. I mean, when you meet people today and you talk about Berle, what's the best? The thing they can say about him: he's funny, he's funny, he's funny. Well, I'm out to prove that Berle is not funny. This is a remarkable piece of character writing. Berle's desire to escape the prison of being funny speaks to a genuine mid-century anxiety about the hierarchy of entertainment forms. Comedy, for all its popularity, still occupied a slightly lower rung on the cultural ladder than dramatic film production. The man who had once stopped America in its tracks every Tuesday night now feels the need to prove that he is more than a baggy pants comic. Ruth's reply is both loving and gently skeptical. That's not a nice thing to say. I didn't say anything. That's what hurts. You love me too much to say it. Of course, I love you. That's why I hate to see you working so hard, taking out all this hard work. Oh, Ruth, don't. Seems to me, you've had enough success in show business to satisfy anyone. I mean, vaudeville, movies, television, nightclubs. Why do you want to be a producer? Don't you understand, Ruth? Dear, I want to grow well, then you ought to stop smoking. I would. The exchange is a miniature master class in marital affection under pressure. Ruth does not mock her husband's ambition, she simply worries about the cost. Berle, for his part, cannot fully articulate the hunger for a different kind of respect, so he falls back on the language of personal growth. The final joke about smoking is classic sitcom punctuation, an affectionate deflection that keeps the tone light even as it acknowledges the seriousness of the underlying tension. Into this household walks Lucy Carmichael, announced by the maid with the simple dignity of "Hello, I'm Mrs. Carmichael, Mr. Bruce has been waiting for you." The moment of first contact is electric with Lucy's brand of uncontrolled enthusiasm. "Oh well, I sure am looking forward to meeting Mr. Berle. May I take your coat?" "Oh thank you, you know I'm a very big fan of his, and once I sent him a letter and he sent me an autograph picture. Well, now you can meet him in person." The autobiography of a fan is delivered in a single breathless rush. Lucy has written the letter, she has received the autograph, now she is about to meet the man himself. The progression is almost mythic in its simplicity. For Lucy, celebrity is not a distant abstraction. It is a ladder of intimacy that begins with a fan letter and ends in her imagination with genuine friendship. When she is finally introduced, "Oh, Mrs. Carmichael, this is Mr. Berle. How do you do, oh, Mr. Berle? I can't tell you how happy I am to meet you. I'm one of your biggest fans." The physical comedy is already implied in the stage directions of the performance. One can see Lucille Ball's eyes widen, her hands flutter, her entire body leaning forward as if gravity itself has been suspended by the presence of greatness. Berle's response is the practiced modesty of a lifelong entertainer. "Oh, you're putting me on." Lucy's denial is absolute. "No, I'm not. You can ask your maid. Ha ha ha. This is Mrs. Berle. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I apologize." The classic Lucy mistake, mistaking the wife for the maid, is handled with perfect comic timing. The apology is immediate and excessive, the kind of social overcorrection that only deepens the humor. Ruth's reply is the height of good-natured grace. That's all right, don't apologize, I'm still his maid. The line is both a gentle correction and a quiet assertion of marital partnership. In a single sentence, Ruth reclaims her dignity while acknowledging the affectionate hierarchy of a long marriage. She then exits with a shopping list and a warning not to spend too much, leaving Lucy alone with the object of her fandom and the work that has brought her there. What follows is the first real collision between Lucy's chaotic energy and Berle's desire for professional seriousness. He attempts a light joke, yes, like a gag I used to do, all play and no work makes no jack, and Lucy's laughter is immediate, excessive and completely sincere. Ah ha 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 ha, ah ha 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 ha. Oh, that's funny, ha ha. Berle's attempt to dial it back, it wasn't that funny, is met with Lucy's unshakable conviction, oh, you're always funny to me. She then launches into a cascade of remembered sketches, the hillbilly, the seal, the baggy pants. Each memory is delivered with the breathless intensity of someone who has lived inside the television set. Berle tries with increasing desperation to steer the conversation toward the actual work of the day. Thank you very much, but I'd like to get some work done. Lucy's response is the purest expression of her character. Oh, you just sit down here. Please, yes sir. I just know working with you is going to be a ball. In these opening minutes, the episode establishes every major thematic thread that will run through the subsequent chaos. Lucy needs money, she is willing to work, she is incapable of approaching any situation without transforming it into a personal drama of fandom loyalty and accidental disruption. Berle needs respect, he is willing to work, he is incapable of escaping the gravitational pull of the very comedy persona he is trying to transcend. Ruth needs her husband to remain healthy and present, she is willing to support his ambition, she is incapable of fully silencing her worry. And surrounding them all is the gentle satirical gaze of the Lucy Show itself, a program that understood better than almost any other that the American middle class of the 1960s was simultaneously dazzled by celebrity and determined to maintain its own modest dignity. Lucy Carmichael, standing in Milton Berle's living room with her coat just removed, and her heart already racing, is the perfect embodiment of that tension. She has come to earn a weekend's wages. She will leave having upended a household, misunderstood a love scene, and somehow through the alchemy of pure comic chaos reminded everyone involved of the simple, stubborn power of affection. The journey has only begun, but already the audience knows the destination will be both inevitable and entirely unpredictable. That is the particular genius of Lucille Ball and the writers, who understood her gifts so completely, the promise that every ordinary errand contains the seed of extraordinary mayhem, and that the mayhem when it arrives will somehow leave the heart a little warmer than it found it.